Joining me now is former counsel to Assistant Attorney General for National Security, Jamil Jaffer. Jamil, good morning, and thank you so much for your time. I do want to start out with CNN's reporting about this rare organic compound not previously seen in the U.S. that was apparently used in these IEDs. The investigation includes trying to figure out what were in these IEDs, what exactly this material is. What do you make of that? I mean, does it make you question whether or not the suspect got help, potentially?
Well, that's exactly it, Amara. I mean, that's the question is, was he inspired simply by ISIS, that he saw videos online that caused him to be motivated to conduct this attack? Or was he in communication with overseas suspects who were providing him information and maybe even this material? We don't know the nature of this material. We don't know if it was an accelerant, part of the explosive, or something he was trying to distribute to spread some sort of problematic material. We don't know the details as yet. But if it is this compound that was never detected before in the United States, that might suggest that he was in communications that may have obtained material from overseas.
What are your thoughts on this video, the surveillance that we just saw Kyung La walk us through? I mean, clearly there was a lot of planning involved. And also the fact that there were planted IEDs, at least 2 of them, in these blue coolers around the French Quarter. Luckily, they were not set off, but they were supposed to be apparently set off using a transmitter. Clearly, the suspect wanted to do as much damage as possible, kill as many people. Is that your take?
That's exactly right, Amar. I think one of the challenges you see with his video here is he's very calm. He's moving deliberately. He's putting the stuff in the car, moving stuff in and out. He's thought out the idea of burning down his house, the Airbnb that he stayed in, to destroy any evidence. So it's clear that he is taking his time, planning this out. He planned the IDs a couple of hours ahead of time. So we know this was a thought-out, planned thing. This wasn't a random act of violence. He had thought this thing through. And that's what's chilling. He seems to be without a care that he knows he's going to go kill at least a dozen more people, 14 people in the ramming attack, maybe more had he set off those IEDs. And just the calmness and the deliberation with which he moves, obviously deeply disturbing.
How much of this investigation will focus on his potential radicalization, especially after he left the military? I mean, there's been so much digging. You know, we've heard from the suspect's brother, who says that there were no indications that he was planning anything or even of radicalization.
Well, obviously, this is a deep concern. Somebody who spent, 13 years in the military, partly on active duty, partly as a reservist, who served with what appears to have been distinction or at least honor. He had an honorable discharge, as far as we know. And there were no issues, at least during his service. Obviously, after his service, we know about his financial troubles, about his marital problems. We understand that just in the last few months, he had been isolated. He wasn't seen around a lot, wasn't attending his mosque, apparently. But apparently, he was getting online. He posted these recordings about a year ago on SoundCloud talking about, music and Satan, which may be part of why he attacked Bourbon Street in particular. Obviously, something happened to him, something related to both his personal and financial troubles, but also something mentally. This is a guy who talked about killing his own family, but that wasn't splashy enough. It wouldn't give him the attention he wanted. That's obviously a disturbed individual. And then these issues of radicalization, obviously going to be a key part of this investigation.
What's the big security picture here for those of us, those sitting at home wondering, if ISIS and Al-Qaeda still poses a threat?
Look, I think it's clear that there's no question that the terrorists who attacked our country on 9/11 and have continued to come after us and our allies, both here and in Europe as well, they continue to be active. They continue to be motivated. They still believe they're at war with us, even if we think that conflict is winding down. We have to remain on guard. Our law enforcement, military, and intelligence personnel need the authorities. We have a Section 702, an overseas surveillance authority, about to expire once again after Congress reauthorized it for a short period. We have the Lone Wolf Authority. This was what we believe was a lone wolf attack that expired 4 years ago. Congress hasn't reauthorized. These are critical issues. The new administration is going to have to tackle those issues, and we've got to be able to ensure that Americans are safe both here at home and our allies are safe abroad as well.
Yeah, it's quite concerning, especially when there was that warning issued by the FBI and DHS about lone wolf attacks targeting soft targets. But, of course, these are quite difficult to prevent as well. Jamil Jaffer, appreciate your time this morning. Thanks so much.
Thanks.